Number 1 right here, we've got two terms, right? Number 1, we have two terms. Subtraction sign in the middle, even exponent. I can take the square root of both. So I'll have 3x plus 4, 3x plus 2, 3x minus 2, okay? Number 2, all right, two terms, addition sign in the middle. My exponent is odd, so I'm thinking sum of cubes. All right, so if I take the cube root of x cubed, that gives me x. If I take the cube root of 64, that gives me 4. And then to get my trinomial, I square the first term. Then I multiply the two terms together, opposite sign. And then I square the last term. All right, 4 times 4 gives me 16, okay? All right, so number 3, subtraction sign in the middle. I have an even exponent, okay? So I'm thinking difference of squares, all right? But what's my first step whenever I factor? Greatest common factor. What would be the greatest common factor here? 50, right? I can take out a 50. And that leaves me with, how many times does 50 go into 200? 4x squared minus 1. So then from there, I can take the square root of both. I have difference of squares. So this will be 50 times 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1, okay? Number 4, again, first step whenever we factor, we're looking for GCF. What would the GCF be there? 7x, which that would leave me with x squared plus 2x plus 1. So now we have a trinomial where a equals 1, right? So I just need two factors of 1 that add to give me 2, which would be 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So my answer there will be 7x times x plus 1 times x plus 1. Okay. Number 5, we have 4 terms. 4 terms. We're going to factor by grouping. GCF of that first group would be 2x squared, which that leaves me with x minus 2. GCF of that second grouping, the leading coefficient there, negative 3. Remember, when it's negative, we got to take out a negative. So we take out a negative 3, which leaves me with x plus 2, which means that this is not going to work, actually. So we don't even have a GCF there, okay? I think this is probably a typo from, this is probably a typo on the website. Probably should have been, what they probably meant to have there was this be a plus 6 right here. And then you take out a negative 3, which then that would leave you with x minus 2. And then the answer would be x minus 2 times 2x squared minus 3. Okay? Okay. Number 6, we have two terms. All right. There's the exponents of 2, right? There's no such thing as sum of squares, right? So this one's kind of set up to try and trick you a little bit. But what is there on number 6? A, G, C, F, right? What would be the GCF there? 3. So you can take out a 3, and that leaves you with x squared plus 27. So you did factor it. It's set up to look like sum of cubes or difference of squares, but it's neither, okay? It's neither. If that was x cubed, then you would be able to do it. But you still factored it. You still got a GCF there, but that's all that would be there, okay? Number 7, we need to do the AC method because A is greater than 1. A times C gives me -6. Two factors of -6 that add to give me -1 are -3 and 2. -3 plus 2 would be -1. So I'm going to split that middle term with -3x plus 2x. Remember that order does not matter. Bring down the -3. Bring down the 2x squared. And from here, I will factor by grouping. Okay. GCF of that first group is an x. And that leaves me with 2x minus 3. GCF of that second grouping is just a 1. Leaves me with 2x minus 3. All right, so my answer there will be 2x minus 3, x plus 1. Okay. All right, number 8, A is 1, right? A is 1. Okay, just to clarify when I say that, ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, A is 1. So all I need is two factors of -10 that add to give me 3. What would those two factors be? Five and -2, right? 5 plus -2 would be 3. So my answer there is x plus 5, x minus 2. All right, again, number 9, A is 1. Okay, so I need two factors of 16 that add to give me 8. What would that be? 4 and 4. Good, Carlene. And you can just write that as x plus 4 squared or x plus 4 times x plus 4. You can write that either way. Doesn't matter. That is a perfect square trinomial. Number 10, there's no GCF there. So we need to do the AC method. A times C gives me 100. All right. Two factors of 100 that add to give me -20 would be good. -10 and -10. -10 times -10 is 100. -10 plus -10 gives me -20. So I'm going to split the middle term. I got plenty of room here. I'm going to split the middle term. -10x, -10x, plus 25, 4x squared. So 4 terms, factor by grouping. GCF of that first group would be 2x, which that leaves me with x minus, 2x minus 5. GCF of that second group would be negative 5, which leaves me with 2x minus 5. This is a perfect square trinomial. I did not recognize that at the beginning, even though I should have. So the answer is 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5, or you can write that as 2x minus 5 squared, okay? Either way is good there. All right. Number 11 is not a perfect square trinomial, but again, you have to do the AC method. So A times C is 4. What are 2 factors of 4 that add to give me negative 5? Nice, negative 4, negative 1. Negative 4 times negative 1. Negative 4 plus negative 1 gives me negative 5. So I'm splitting that middle term. Again, this order doesn't matter. Negative 4x minus x, that could be flipped. I'm bring down my 2 and my 2x squared. Factor by grouping. GCF of my first group is 2x, and that leaves me with x minus 2. All right. And then GCF of my second grouping is just a negative 1, which leaves me with x minus 2. So my answer there will be x minus 2 times 2x minus 1. Okay. All right. Number 12, no GCF, not a perfect square trinomial. So again, we are our favorite AC method. 3 times negative 20 gives me negative 60. 2 factors of negative 60 that add to give me a negative 11. Money, negative 15 and 4. Negative 15 times 4 is negative 60. Negative 15 plus 4 gives me negative 11. All right, so I'm going to split that middle term. Negative 15x, 4x, down my negative 20, down my 3x squared. I have 4 terms here, so I'm going to factor by grouping. GCF of that first group is 3x, and that leaves me with x minus 5. GCF of that second grouping is 4. Leaves me with x minus 5. So my answer there is x minus 5 times 3x plus 4. Okay. Remember, I'm going to post this to my YouTube, so you can rewatch this and look at it again. Okay. Number 13, 4 terms from the start. So we're going to factor by grouping from the start. Group, 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 group. GCF, the first group is x squared. Leaves me with x minus 3. GCF of that second group is negative 5. Leave me with x minus 3. So my answer is x minus 3 times x squared minus 5. Okay. So 14 looks different, okay? But when this exponent is a 4, if the middle exponent is a 2, you just do the same thing you would with any trinomial here where a is greater than 1, okay? Works out the exact same, okay? If it's 4 and 2, it's fine. So, I know we hadn't been over that yet, but so here there's no GCF. AC method gives me negative 60. I need 2 factors of negative 60. Wait, is this the same problem? 3x. It is. This is the same problem. So the only difference here is, watch at the end. All right, so we got negative 15 and 4, right? So we got 3x to the 4th minus 15 will be x squared. And then plus 4x squared minus 20. Okay. And then from there, factor by grouping. So the GCF here would be 3x squared, which leaves me with x squared minus 5. GCF there would be 4, which leaves me with x squared minus 5. And so that answer will be x squared minus 5 times 3x squared plus 4, okay? So if you look at the difference between that and then problem number 12, x minus 5, 3x plus 4, x squared minus 5, 3x squared plus 4, okay? So if you compare 14 and 12, right, almost the same answer, you just have x squareds for each there, okay? And so as you can see the difference there, right, when we split the middle term, this became negative 15x squared and 4x squared. So just a little different there, okay? Number 15. 15, subtraction sign in the middle, right? Exponent of 2. We can take the square root of both terms, right? 2 terms, take the square root of both. So, square root of 4x squared is 2x. Square root of 49 is 7. Okay. 16. All right, 16. A is 1, so we just need 2 factors of 81 that add to give us negative 18. Negative 9 times negative 9, and then negative 9 plus negative 9 gives us negative 18. So that answer is x minus 9 squared, or x minus 9 times x minus 9. You can write that either way. 17, subtraction sign in the middle, and I can take the square root of both terms. All right, square root of 16x squared is 4x. Square root of 81 is 9, plus 9 minus 9. 18, 4 terms, factor by grouping, group. GCF, that first group is x squared, leaves us with 2x minus 3. GCF of that second grouping is 2, leaves us with 2x minus 3. So that answer is 2x minus 3 times x squared plus 2. All right. 3 more problems. 3 more. All right. So here we have subtraction sign on 19, and both exponents are 3s. So I'm thinking difference of cubes. Difference of cubes. I can take the cube root of both terms. Cube root of 8x cubed is 2x minus cube root of 27y cubed is 3y. So my trinomial, I square the first term. All right, 2x squared gives me 4x squared. Then I multiply the two terms together. 2x times negative 3y gives me negative 6xy, but we do the opposite sign because of our formula. And then we square the second term. Negative 3y squared would be plus 9y squared. We have our answer. Okay. Number 20, that dot's not supposed to be there. So again, we just do this just like we would do if a is 1. All right, even though our exponents of 4, our middle exponents of 2. That's okay. If it's 4 and 2, all right, we do it just the same. So I need 2 factors of 3 that add to give me negative 4. Negative 3 and negative 1. Negative 3 plus negative 1 is negative 4. Okay? So my answer here will just be x squared minus 3, x squared minus 1. Okay? And then last, all right, this is just a straight GCF problem. So our GCF would be 6a. I need more room. It would be 6ab. 6ab. All right, so that would be 2x squared plus ax cubed minus 5b squared. Okay?